Hello everyone, we're on day 4 of from meditating to meditating. Today's been quite a deep one, to be honest with you. I've had a few tears, but it's got to something really, really deep inside of me. And just to give you a bit of an insight into what happened. I can remember, for as long as I can remember, I have always wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in at school. I wanted to be a part of what I saw that everyone else had. I wanted to fit into, suppose, what people call like society, what people's image of society is. But I've also had a resistance against this as well, because I've not wanted to be a person who sort of grew up, got a job somewhere, got married, had 2 children, stayed in the same house, had grandchildren. It's not really been something that I've wanted, really, or even craved. And I'm not knocking anyone who does, because I have wanted to have a really, really deep relationship with a man. And to be honest, I don't think I've even got close to that yet. But it is what it is. So I've always had this feeling of wanting to fit in, but not wanting to fit in with society. And sometimes it's been kind of lonely, because I've seen myself as a little bit different. And I've been outcast because of that. I've been called names, I've been bullied, I've been ostracised. But it's made me who I am. I've learnt from it. And as I was doing the meditation, I realised how strong the need was for me when I was younger to be accepted, and to be accepted for who I am, especially by my parents, and for them to know who I am. I felt like I was wearing a mask, maybe, playing a part of who they wanted me to play, and not really showing who I was, because I wanted to be that good girl that they were proud of. And I've battled all my life to be seen by them, to be told they were proud of me. And in this meditation, I had a visualization of being with a man who I didn't know, but I know that he was a very strong man. He was very open. He was very loving, and he was listening to me. He was showing me and reflecting back to me how important I was, and how seen I was, and how valued I was. And I realised that sometimes I tend to drop into people pleasing, into wanting people to like me, into saying, well, this is what I do, and it comes across as really, really passionate, but it's also, I want to give out, I want to help other people, but I also want them to see me for who I am. And maybe I've been going about it the wrong way, because I've always had this belief that to be successful, and especially in business, you've got to be financially successful, and that is not the case, by far, from a long shot. And it's been really frustrating, because I felt like I've been going down the right path, and then something happens and it's like, no, you're not going that way. So I'm trying to breathe into that side of it. So there's quite a lot coming up. So just going back to this visualization, this man was just accepting me for who I was and hearing me. And after a while, I started to cry. And I started to physically cry. Because to me, I was being seen, but in a different way. Then he told me to go and stand in front of a mirror. And I thought, oh, well, this is going to be my practice. This is, another thing that I need to do. Another thing I needed to add to my list of jobs. I need to go and stand in front of a mirror each day and just look at myself. But I did it visually. And as I was looking in this mirror, the tears were like flooding because I was seeing myself. And the mirror was asking me who I was. That was saying, who are you? And I just kept saying, I'm Elena. I'm Elena. I'm Elena. And it felt like a resistance to me. It felt like that wasn't really who I was. I wasn't really a name. It was something much deeper. And then all of a sudden, it was like this big energy just expanded from the mirror, and I started saying, I am love. I am love. And it just kept bigger and bigger. And I thought, I'm not Elena, I am love. And then I realised it was a lot bigger than this, because love is so, it's like growing, it's like expanding, it's immense. And I know that when I see someone, it's like I see the love in them. I see who they are, maybe. And it's not being arrogant or anything, but I find it really difficult to see the bad in people. And they might not see it, but I just, it's as if I like X-ray vision, and I look into them and I can see the good in them. And maybe that's the love that I'm seeing, I don't know. But so I realised that we're all connected by this love energy. And if I am love, and everything that is outside of me that I love is also love, that means that when I see a bird in the sky and I feel love for that bird, I am that bird. When I see flowers that Sarah gave me, I feel the love for that flowers, but I am those flowers as well. I am that beauty. And it was a massive wow moment to know that this Elena that I am is my outer shell, and inside it's much bigger. So I think for me, it's about continuing to see that and not looking for validation from people or from experiences. It's about maybe feeling into that love more and taking time to engage in activities which I do love. And whatever happens from that point, I have no control over, and I never have control over. And it's about learning to just sit with that love and maybe sort of seeing what lessons it has to teach me. So I'm going to finish off today on day 4, and just to I'm alive and raw today, no makeup, bleary eyes, but this is who I am today. And I would like to just send the message that just embrace who you are today. Don't expect to be anyone who you're not. You are you, and you are love. Goodbye.